Okay, today guys what we're looking at is on February 20th, we're looking at problem solving with rationals and rational expressions and equations. I might run through this a little quick. If you need to, just pause the video and to write your notes down or whatever, that's cool. But I only have so long to get this video done in. So get out your notes page. It's the one that has the 4 problems on it. And these will be your notes for today. So the first thing that we want to look at is steps of solving irrational word problems. First thing we need to do, set up the unknowns in one variable. So set up each thing that's going on with x's or y's or z's, whatever, just use one variable. Next thing you're going to do is set up an equation for the situation. Then you're going to multiply by the common denominator to clear out the fractions. So find out your common denominator. So then once you have a common denominator, all you have to work with is the numerators of each problem, or of each term. Solve the remaining equation for the variable. And lastly, state the final answer in real-world terms. So we're going to look at this starting with number 1. Number 1, in order to create tunnels, civil engineers devise plans where tunnel boring machines begin drilling at both ends of the tunnel and meet somewhere in between. A tunnel is being built through a section of mountain. One tunnel boring machine alone can finish the tunnel in 4 years. Another machine can finish the job in 3 years. If both machines start at opposite ends and work at the same time, when will the tunnel be finished? So what we have here is we have one job can be done in 4 years. One job can be done in 3 years. But what we want to know is together how long will it take them, the one job. So essentially what we have is 1/4 plus 1/3 is equal to 1 over x. So what we need to do is we have to find a common denominator. 3 times 4 is 12 times x would give us 12x. So that's what we're looking to get as our common denominator. So we multiply this by 12 and get 12x. So we'd multiply the top by 12. Here we'd multiply by 4x. 3 times 4 is 12x. So we multiply the top by 4x, which would just be 4x on top. And then the first fraction we would multiply by 3x. Multiply the top by 3x, we would just get 3x. So now essentially what we have to do is just work with the numerator. So we have 3x plus 4x is equal to 12. 7x is equal to 12 because you combine like terms. Then we divide by 7 and we get x is equal to 12 divided by 7, or 1.7 years. So it takes both of those, it takes 1.7 years with them working together to make one tunnel. Number 2, Toby drives 300 kilometers in the same time that Allie drives 200 kilometers. The speed at which Toby is driving is 20 kilometers per hour more than the speed at which Allie is driving. Find the speed at which Toby is driving and the speed at which Allie is driving. If you notice here, Toby's speed is depending on Allie, so Allie is going to be our basis for this problem. The solution. Let x equal the speed of Allie, and let x plus 20 equal the speed of Toby. Use the formula distance equals rate times time to solve for t. So if we did that, we know that distance divided by rate is equal to time. Okay, so we set up the distance of Toby, right here, the distance of Toby over the rate of Toby is equal to the distance of Allie divided by the rate of Allie, because their time is going to be the same. So once we put that into an equation, we have 300 over x plus 20, and then we have 200 over x. Now, we don't need to get a common denominator, we just need to cross multiply and divide. That would be the easiest way to do it. So we do 300 times x, which is 300x, and we do 200 times x, which would be 200x, and we have 2 times 20, which would be 4,000. solve. So we subtract 200x from both sides. So we have 100x is equal to 4,000. We have x equals 40. So Allie is driving 40 kilometers per hour. Toby is driving 60 kilometers per hour. Question number 3. Chef Cal can decorate a dozen cupcakes in half the time of Chef Charlie. I know yours says Chef Casey, but I messed up. So anyways, together, both of them, they can decorate the dozen cupcakes in 8 minutes. How long would it take each chef to decorate a dozen cupcakes alone? So first what we have to do is we have to set up our equations. Let x equal the time for Chef Cal, or Chef Casey, and let 2x equal the time for Chef Charlie, because Casey is working and she gets so many done, and then Charlie would take her twice as long to get that many done. So what we have is the equation 1 over x plus 1 over 2x is equal to 8. The common factor there would be 8x, so we would multiply this by 8. We would multiply this one by 4 and this by x. So the top we multiply by 8 here, the top we multiply by 4 here, and the top we multiply by x here. So if we rewrite our equation just with the numerators, we have 8 plus 4 is equal to x. So 12 is equal to x. So it would take 12 minutes for each, for Chef Casey to make a dozen cookies, and it would take, or a dozen cupcakes, I'm sorry, and it would take Chef Charlie 24 minutes to make a dozen cookies. And the last question, number 4. One pipe can fill a tank in 6 hours, while another pipe can empty it in 2 hours. If both pipes are open at once, how long will it take to empty the full tank? So what you have going on is you have a tank, and you have one hose going in and one hose that is leading out. The tank is full. You turn on the hose that's leading in, you turn on the hose that's leading out. You want to know how long is it going to take for it to be completely empty. So what we do is we let x represent the time to empty the full tank. So if it's part empty, it can be empty, the full tank, which is 1, over 2. It takes 2 hours to empty it. We're going to subtract how fast it's filling. So we have 1 tank will empty in 6 minutes. So we have 1/2 minus 6 is equal to 1 over x, which is your total empty. So what we're going to do is find our common denominator again. We can see that 2 and 6 are multiple, or 2 will go into 6, and then we have x. So we'd multiply this one by 3x, this one by x, this is by 6. So on top, 3x, x, and 6. So rewrite our numerators. 3x minus x is equal to 6. 3x minus x is 2x, equals 6. Divide by 2. X is equal to 3. It would take 3 hours to empty that full tank. Now, with the packet that you got, 1 through 8, are due Monday. Then if you'll notice at the top of your packet, it tells you that 9 through 16 are quadratic equations, and then 17 through 24 are 2 variable equations. I will let you do 9 through 16 as one grade replacement and 17 through 24 as another grade replacement, meaning these two, if you're going to do these, each one will be different, but they are both due Monday. No questions asked. You have to turn them in when you turn in your homework, or it won't count towards your grade. So it's not required, but it will replace if you're missing a grade or if you have a low grade that you'd like to replace to bring your grade up. I hope you understood what we did today. If you need to, go back and watch the video. Pause it when you need to. If you have any questions, email me. And I will be here after school on Friday and before school Monday morning. Thank you.